So I'm going to start with these two beings because that was really strong this morning. Okay. Super strong. I'm a little overwhelmed right now. So we've presented you with images portraying the depths of your roots, both into the earth and into other realms. At this time, your connections to the inner earth and to the other realms are more heightened and hyper aware. This is expanding over and over and over and over and continuously, but right now it's at one of many pinnacles where your connection is almost at a void state. Like, it's almost like it feels a little disconnected because it's so connected that it's intense and powerful. So I'm seeing like I'm going to say the Earth Star chakra maybe, like below us, almost like being activated as like one of the primary chakras. And then it goes the same up and out too. So like whatever the star chakra is above, so there's one below and one above. And both of them are like, the one above is sparkling and moving and healing itself right now. And then the one down below us is activating and, I don't know why they're saying charcoaling, yeah. So we're at a void state where those are becoming more prevalent in your state of consciousness. This is for the collective. This is as a collective. And so this void state is one of the reasons for your heaviness, your density. One of the reasons for I'm having a hard time with this. So this void state feels, it's like I can't feel it. I know that it's happening, but I can't deep into it. I can't dive deep into it because they're still coming online. Okay, so more than ever, right? Which is always happening. Everything's happening more than ever. The veil is thinner than ever, right? And it just keeps getting more and more so. This is like a pinnacle of that. So we're not going to reach another pinnacle like this for about 12 years. So this is maybe even like a once every 12 years kind of thing. But this, after the next moon cycle, you will feel it Like they're just like going up and down, up and down, up and down. It's super rapid. It's super clear. So it's really, really important right now to keep clear, keep in your highest vibration, keep practicing the vibrations and frequency of your highest timeline. Especially, it feels like for the next week. So, towards the end of this month, what we would say is there is this feels like an invitation. One thing that you can do to connect more deeply, because it doesn't feel like something that I can connect to right now. Like it feels like I know it's happening, but it's not something I can touch or I can't do anything about it right now. So it's just about keeping this clear. It's just about keeping the primaries clear in order for that connection to happen. But one thing you can do is like after this next moon cycle, which I think it is like a week, but there's like a time, after a week. Okay, so between the 28th and the 31st, a ritual, a ceremony, as it opens to you, when you feel it opening to you, like allowing yourself that time to connect and because it does feel like it's very intense. It feels like this is going to take a couple days. It could be from the 28th to the 31st, that practicing the connection to these other chakras coming online. It's like you will become more familiar, with these chakras, just as familiar as you are, familiar is not the right word, just as familiar as you are with your primary chakras. It will just be like one of them. It will be a new, you've been waiting for this. It will be a new, you've been waiting for this. You're waiting for this. This is what you have been waiting for. This is the yearning sensations inside of like knowing yourself more deeply, knowing your higher self more deeply and your human self more deeply. Balance. This is about balance and harmony. They're showing like the DNA symbol from that chakra. Does anybody know the name of this one? Soul Star? Okay. Oh, okay. Right. Yep. Cool. So like higher self, right? So they're showing like DNA strand. You know that DNA with the ones on the side and it like curls and it has like a ladder look to it. Literally from there, and it's like it's already here, but now it's like expanding out into these two. So it's like becoming. Staying in your authenticity and trusting your flow, trusting your process, trusting your guidance, trusting your guidance isn't the right word. Trusting your higher self is moving you onto your highest timeline. When you feel discord, knowing that it is you stepping off of your timeline or you stepping off of your highest timeline Or they're showing me, like, as you're like hiking up a hill, there's just like this one part that is like hard to get up. It's like almost like you have to kind of do like a rock climbing move, ninja shit, to like get up and over this. That can feel, I don't want to say challenging. It can feel like it's pulling you off of your timeline because you're not on the path anymore, right? Like there's no path right here, right? So you have to like make a path. And you're climbing this rock to get back up onto the path.
How do we tell the difference?
The difference is like knowing that this rock that you're climbing has stability rather than like a flailing. The flailing is when you're completely off the path, and it feels like discord is the word they keep using. So it feels flailing is the only word I can think of. I just feel like, ah! Whereas a rock, you're moving, you're putting effort in. So it's that balance of like knowing that this brings you back onto your path, by like making, it's very like, this feels very balanced with masculine, feminine energy, right? So like knowing, okay, I'm going to veer off my path here and face this challenge. Challenge isn't the right word. Face this choice point. And before making the step onto the rock, like looking at the rock, just looking at it, not assessing it, not trying to figure out where you're going to put your feet and your hands, and because you can't know until you are on that rock where everything is. So, it's looking at that rock and just feeling into what that rock like if the rock is inviting to you or not. So here's the path. Here's this rock, like right here on the path. And then there's this like flailing. So it's off to the right. It reminds me of at the state beach, walking up the head. For some reason, that's how I'm seeing it. It's like one of those rocks where, there's something in the path. You can't walk over the path, so you have to go out onto this rock. And just sitting with the rock and like, hey, rock, are you okay for me to climb? Like, whenever me and Mari do anything with the earth, if we pick up a rock, we ask the earth, are you okay with me taking this? Like, can I have this? And we always try to offer something back. It's an asking, and then just sitting there and looking at the rock and feeling a yes or a no. Rather than this more like escapey energy of like just kind of going for it and like flailing, just kind of, well, we can't go up the path, so let's go up the rock. It's more of a gradual, like taking your time, and that's that feminine energy. But the masculine is like, the masculine wants to go, wants to take charge and just make it happen. And so it's kind of checking that, like, okay, is this my ego or my fears coming to pull me up this rock in the masculine way? And we're saying this because this is we are feminine energy. And so it's with masculine tendencies from ego and fear and society. So our tendency is to be like, well, I got to go do something about it. So let's just climb the fucking rock. Let's just go. Let's just do this. And there's a moment before you make that move, before you climb the rock, of just sitting in it, sitting in that feeling, sitting with the fear, sitting with the ego, thanking it for being there, and then allowing the rock to either invite you or not. And if it's a not, then it's just staying where you're at in the path until it clears or until the rock invites you. Which again is just a detour, because it's leading you back to your highest timeline. You're still back on your path. It's just a detour. The two images here. Okay, so there was one with like the things shooting out from its head, and that's masculine energy. Okay. So the masculine energy feels like it's waking up. It's kind of same thing, like coming online. It's understanding. It looks like bright rays of the sun. And it's a little bit uncomfortable because it's uncomfortable because it's so much at once. It reminds me of like when, when people are on a timeline where they've had a slow, long, like painstakingly long journey to ascension, and then people who just wake up like that. That's the energy that it reminds me of. And like this is like that, and it's just so much, so fast, so rapid, so accelerated ascension. And so that's where the masculine is within all of us, and within the collective, and within themselves too. Is this very accelerated boom, 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 boom.
Are those the filaments? Yeah.
And it's like, that's exactly, yeah. And it's like connecting to that chakra up there, and it's just like so rapid. Filaments would be the perfect, like, because it's like poofing off of their head, and going and touching that earth star and bringing down knowledge and downloads and understanding, and it's fucking intense, like so much so that like the hands, it's because it's overwhelming. And so we're giving them time to pause, we're giving them time to breathe, we're giving them time to like accumulate or integrate. But right now, where they're at is with this just incredibly rapid understanding. Okay, and then with the other symbol is the feminine of the collective, oh my God, who are gaining their angel wings, who are remembering their angel wings, who are stepping into their wings, stepping into their powerful. It's just like, oh my God, all I want to do is stretch. And I just worked out yesterday and it's so sore. But like that feeling of just, even just with that soreness, it just reminds me of like, oh my God, those were there the whole time. That's why it's so heavy on my shoulders. Like, it's the wings. They're opening up, and they're like, I don't know if you've ever seen Maleficent, but that's what it looks like. Just freaking huge wings. And then having almost like an extra pair of legs, because they're the ones that are so rooted into the earth. And so they're kind of helping the masculine pull that in and ground it. And it's crazy because it's like, it feels like this is just like in a way that hasn't been experienced before, or at least not on this level. And so again, obviously masculine and feminine is within both of us. So that masculine is what's yeah, it's like crazy because whenever I tap into the masculine, I almost get like anxiety. It's so like rapid. And so as this is going out and connecting up and then kind of coming back down, it's so much in my head, so much. Like I feel so much pressure in my head. And then the feminine, has those wings to like gracefully whoosh it down into the earth. I don't know, whoosh is not a word, but it's not even grounding. I can't even call it that. It's almost like she's taking like the filaments, that's kind of what it looks like taking it from him and bringing it down in a gradual, graceful, beautiful, elegant way. Share.
Well, remember my dreams? The blast of filaments. And then the other dream I had one of the filaments, and I was flying so fast around the earth and over the sea. And so when you're saying this, it reminds me of that.
Yeah.
And the filament's so intense.
It's so intense.
And like the pressure, I feel all of that. And when they showed me the blast of the filament, it's like it's like so many filaments, more filaments we're like getting all at once, like at one big time.
Yeah.
Like it's, I don't know. It's just super intense.
So intense.
Dream.
That's what I would say about the filaments. That's how they feel, is so intense. Like my head hurts. Okay, so now they're showing, so the feminine is kind of bringing it down to earth, right? There's something about how the masculine is like, almost like, I would say like a rainbow bridge, right? Like all the chakras, colors and everything. So they're saying it's not just the masculine. It's like the masculine and then the rainbow bridge and then the feminine. Like the feminine is even from the solar plexus down. And the masculine is up. But yeah, up. And obviously they both meet in the middle. Which is where the wings are. Which that makes sense. So, and again, this is all within us, but there is like the masculine collective who are, I don't want to say taking on, but physically, I feel like they're feeling it way more because, so like they're feeling it physically and energetically and mentally way more because the feminine has already been doing this. Like, we've been doing this. So, and we've been handling this. So it feels like they're alleviating some of the pressure from up here for us. So we will start to feel a sense of, and it almost feels like euphoria, just like not lightheadedness, but like lightness, like airy and flowy. Like we can step back into our flow as the feminine because they're fucking stepping up and I it's interesting because I don't feel like this is going to be everyone. Okay, sorry. So this is going to be everyone, but most have no clue. And they're saying like another way, one way to know when you're out of balance is, having that density and headaches and pressure. you know that it's built up right here and that you can like put it in your heart because your heart can handle that, like almost like electricity or whatever. And then allowing that the wings to like gracefully take it down into the earth. And it's important, it's like into this inner earth, like this for us it looks like an earth star chakra, but it's inner earth. It's like the core of the earth, who we are connected to as the divine feminine. There's also physical shifts. So they're showing like riverbeds opening up. This is weird because it's almost like this is causing the physical shifts, but it's not. It's like almost like in alignment with, or at the same time as, or it is kind of causing it, but like okay, so it's like these things are going to happen. These geographical changes are happening anyway. It's the cycle of the earth. It's the earth cycles, which are much longer than like human cycles. But this is like, it's almost like not slowing it. It's making it more graceful, making it more gradual, because there's intense dark energy attacks that, which is also why it's really important to like hold this this vibration first and foremost right now, because the attacks are more substantial, more harsh, I guess. And so the masculine kind of doing that, and then the rainbow bridge within us, and then us feminines, again, we are the masculine and feminine. I know, we keep making me say that. Like, okay, when I say masculine and feminine, they and us, and it's all within and outside, obviously. I just got checked. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so the earth is doing these dramatic things in culmination, in conjunction with dark energy attacks. And then like our energy is like lifting the vibration and you said like healing the surface of the earth so that it's much less graphic or much less oh my gosh, I hate when this happens. It's like when you have to pee. Oh my gosh. Much less like forceful, maybe? I'm going to go with that. That's the closest English word I can find for that. You know, when, like, they're showing me, like, as a helicopter lands, you know, could just land like that, but, like, the wing, things are turning to, like, allow it to land more gradually. Thank you. Oh, my gosh. Oh, thank you. Gradually. Yeah. Okay. I feel like after that word, I'm like, okay, that felt good. Okay. So there will be shaking, there will be breaking, there will be waves. All of the things that we've been feeling and knowing are going to happen, they will be. Okay. They're showing like a disintegration. Because this is a healing hub. This is it. Humboldt itself is a healing hub. There are healing hubs everywhere. Humboldt County, or, even more specifically, like they're saying like Arcata itself is like a hub, right? Like people are, aligned or magnetized around it because of this. It's such a healing hub. And people are magnetized around it and so there's so much shifting right now. It looked like disintegrating, but it's actually like, it's actually like, oh my gosh, this reminds me of a meditation I had one time. Clicking into place. It looked like, like a dandelion, when you blow a dandelion, like disintegrating, but it's actually just like people like clicking where they're supposed to. Oh my gosh, I had this meditation one time, and that's what it reminds me of. And it was like this geographical or like a geometrical or whatever shape, and it was like things would click into place, and then they would like unclick because people would falter or whatever, or flake if you're in Humboldt, and then it would kind of come out of place, and then now it's like coming back into place, and it's so slow, and it's like click, 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 into this geometry, like
Geometric?
Yes, geometric shape. And so they're saying that's already happened. That has already happened. The ones who came and like click, 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 like that already happened, and then they like stabilized the energy, the healing of the space. They stabilized it by finally freaking clicking. And this was just for a minute, and now the next geometric shape, gets bigger and more complicated and like more spread apart. But there is like a hub specifically around Arcata. And again, this is everywhere, but like this seems like this is the one in California. And so you've stabilized the healing for the earth and the environment, almost even like the atmosphere. Like it feels like, again, that both like, the earth and like atmosphere is the only word I can come up with. It is complete, and now you're building the next shape. So because this becomes worldwide, and then all of these, so it's like this hub, and then it gets so big that it connects to the hub to the one next door, and to next door and next door and next door, and then they all kind of become, and then it's like this grid all the way around the earth. This is literally everywhere. Like I feel like even every island just has like a little hub, and it just click, 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 and like that shape, and then it gets bigger, or people spread apart and take and like pull that healing energy it reminds me of like not Legos, but kind of like it's like clicking together with these places like outside of the hub, you know, like, yeah.
Is it forming a crystalline grid?
Say it again.
Is it forming a crystalline grid around the world, this Earth?
Crystalline grid.
So I just got a picture of each lighted soul, and then there's like the light threads, and it's almost like the constellation. Like, you know how like they all just start connecting, just all around.
So when you say like the crystalline grid, that is more like the Earth grid, like the one that's at the surface and inside of. And then there's this outer one that looks like more like spiderwebby, like where everything clicks together and they have all the, not spiderwebby, but because there's a shape, it's a specific like geometric shape that it like brings. They're saying that you do this with your water, molecular structure, and this is how you're creating this new Earth. Whoa. Yeah. So the crystalline feels like it's inside and it's crystal, right? Like it's hard. It's not hard, it's just more structured. And then this outer one is like more of like an energetic, like, I'm not even feeling, but like energetic, almost umbrella, other energetic, I'm just going to stick with energetic. Yeah.
Is there a certain kind of geometric form that you're seeing that's been created with these hubs or anything like that?
Every hub has a different shape, has a different assigned structure that makes up everything that this new Earth is meant to be. And like that's how we're like co-creating it together, right? Like we have this very energetic healing here, and then there's others who are much deeper grid workers who are working on the crystalline grid. And sometimes we do both. Sometimes we're working on the crystalline grid and then other times working on the energetic grid. Like every hub, it looks like has like different shapes.
Can you see our shape hub here?
Yeah, but you don't want me to draw it. Actually, I mean, I can't really see it super. It's so complex. Like, I don't even know. It's just so complex. And it's ever changing. And it does look like we've reached like where the grid. That's so interesting. They're showing like, almost like it feels almost like you finished this homework assignment. Like you've reached this part when you were supposed to, and now it's being solidified. And expanded. So it has been solidified and now it's expanding. Okay, if you guys have questions, keep up coming.
I was just wondering about action steps, if there's more action steps needed from us.
The only action on a collective level is maintaining, I don't know, it's almost like symmetry, like maintaining this, what you've created. It's just maintaining it. It's just trusting it. It's nurturing it as the feminine, holding space for it, nurturing it like a little baby in your hands. Because it is very much now time for the masculine to like take it and run with it. They just took the baby. I'm like, I got it. Also important to keep in mind that when you're feeling very masculine, to like check, you know, they're showing like a checklist, like check to see if the masculine, if that's hard to explain. Okay, let's say you have a checklist like clean the house, sweep the floors, do marketing, blah 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 blah, right? It's important to, it's not about separating the list, but it's about looking at it. Is this list, you know, it's an action, but is it nurturing my soul, my work, my mission, my purpose? Is it nurturing that? Because that's feminine. So if you're doing something to nurture, that's feminine. And so it's important to like clarify within when you're doing something, because a lot of times doing, going, being, it feels so masculine because there's so much of that. But there's a honing in and like very, it's funny because I was about to say analytical, but they're like, don't overthink it. You know, it's not about overthinking this. It's like feeling into this, like is cooking dinner and lunch and breakfast and, you know, for whatever, you know, it's like things to do, right? Because then you have dishes and blah, blah, blah. But is that nurturing yourself? Is it nurturing your family? Is it nurturing your soul? Versus that very masculine energy. And it's funny because they're like, they just show that masculine energy just being lifted up, like literally just like, I don't see anyone pulling it or taking it. It just is, I think what I'm feeling is like in the next week and then some, like that pressure kind of being lifted off of the feminine. And a lot of this is with the knowing, with the discernment of what is nurturing us and what is what we're doing out of ego or fear to like pay the bills, or I gotta, you know, keep this going, or I gotta, because I don't want to fail. I don't want to do, you know, and fail. Like it's that masculine energy to push something. Isn't necessary anymore. Like you get to just flow now. You get to be invited, you get to be led into this fucking magical divine place by not pushing anymore. Because we did have to push, because our egos and fears have made us push for so long. It can be, so that's why we're saying to look at it. Like there may be push that needs to happen, but it's, again, it's like, is it nurturing me? Is it feeding my soul? Is it filling my cup? That's that feminine. And like the filling of the cup, it just feels like such deep gratitude to ourselves for all that we've done to get to this point and to get everyone around us to whatever point. And not just to our human selves, but like also to our masculine, because our masculine deserves a pat on the back too, like within us. They deserve that gratitude for taking out the garbage and doing the dishes and doing the yoga and doing and exercising and going to work. And there's a gratitude missing to ourselves, and that can fill us with such deep bliss that we won't feel the urge to push. And when they say push, they keep showing punching. It's like they're trying to punch through a rock, and it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You would just look silly. It's just allowing yourself to be led, and just things just dropping in your lap because you're not punching that rock. And if you turned around, you would see that like the opportunity that you're looking for is right behind you. If you would just chill the fuck out and like let it come to you.
Mm-hmm.
Letting it come, it will come. It's just this trust that your higher self has done the work to get you here, and now you get to enjoy the rewards. Period. Like, that's it. You've done the work. There's going to be more work, for sure, for life, forever and ever and ever and ever. But there's, God, it feels so good too, just to drop into that fucking flow.
Mm-hmm.
And be there and in order to even get into that flow, it's that gratitude towards ourselves for what we've done, for what we do all day, every day. At the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, like, actually they just correct me, at the end of the day, before you go to bed, like, literally just being like, damn, girl, look at you. What you did today. Damn, you did that. And even for the stuff you didn't do. It's gratitude for you knowing that you got to get it done. That's on your list for tomorrow. It's the discernment between the ego and the fear, or the nurturing of my soul, my purpose, my well-being, my life, my love. That feels complete. Okay, take a break for a second. How are we doing on time? 5:30. Okay. Actually, I think what I want to do is maybe get like a little bit of feedback, because I always feel like it helps me to like hear your voices and feel like more deeply into your energy. If that's okay with you guys, if you're open to that. Is anything coming up for you? Like, what do you mean? I have no idea. Just talk. Just talk. How you doing? How was your day?
Good. Today was good. Been going through some fucking shit though. Anybody else going through some fucking shit?
Oh yeah. For me, it's been physically. But it's interesting you brought up those exact dates. I know the eclipses those dates, but I'm doing my second ayahuasca ceremony on the 29th.
Mm.
So when you mentioned ceremony and it's going to take a few days, like, that's integration.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm taking my son, my older son, so it's going to be a huge, huge thing. And he's beautiful masculine energy in my life. I had some things come up, but they might come back to me because my ADHD brain. If I don't say it right away, it's gone. But it absolutely resonated with so many things that you said, and it's like I've been getting the message that I've done enough manifesting for lifetimes, at this point in this lifetime, that it's time to just sit back and receive. And I've had so many epiphanies come up for me about my healing. My healing, I was thinking that was my gift for me, but it was actually my gift to give. So my healing, my channeling is giving, and me creating is actually my receiving. So I had my input, my output wrong, thinking that why does this feel like work if it's what I'm receiving? Which it is still a blessing. I'm not taking it for granted, but I had to really delve in and realize that where my input and my output were. And it's like labeling the faucets the wrong, It's funny that Spirit just brought back to me because my grandpa he was Mexican, and he was a landlord, and he would mark like the H for helado and C for caliente. So that's what I did. I mixed up my input, my output, or my faucets, I guess. So, in any case, the receiving part, sitting back and allowing to flow, really resonated with me.
What you say resonates with me too. I'm realizing and I didn't think of it until you just said it, but I just have this like huge urge to paint, and I haven't been painting. And when you said that you receive through creative,
because that's your inner child receiving.
That's what I haven't been doing.
And so,
and like I feel like I'm giving, and it hasn't been a balance. I haven't been receiving, and so it makes sense to want to like step back and like give myself this break and like start receiving again. And like I'm just like craving it and wanting it so bad, like. But when you said that, I didn't think of it like that. So it's interesting that you say it like that.
Because I expected my cup to be filled by giving and channeling this healing energy for people, and my cup wasn't being filled. I don't feel drained from the actual healing physically. I get energized from that, but it's still an output into output of energy in a general sense. And so I've noticed I have to fill my own cup by creating, and then I can. So the more I create, the more I'm able to give out.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel too.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a way for us to balance ourselves.
But if you have them wrong, if you have if you have a mark labeled wrong, you're expecting the opposite thing from them, then it kind of get backwards.
I feel like we're all in the same boat. Like, I don't know about how you feel, Monique, about whatever they're sharing, but I don't know. And part of a lot of what you were saying, Ali, was feeling like it was about, or like reflecting also like what's going on with this collective space. And like, it's interesting because it's called the Crystalline Collective. And we were talking about, like, you mentioned the crystalline grid and the earth, and we're channeling about the collective being the collective of humanity, but I felt like what's happening with our space here is like reflected by what's happening on the grander scale that you were talking about.
Oh, please.
Because we
That's
have
crazy.
been, mostly her, but we've been doing this outward masculine work and not like nurturing our own creative.
Wow.
Dude, fucking shit.
Wow.
Just got the chills.
I'm glad I shared that because I felt like it was a little off topic,
I'm
but I'm
glad
like,
you
I'm
did
running
too.
with it.
It's
Go off on a tangent.
like an epiphany right now.
And everyone's team is here, so your team just came through and brought that in.
Yeah.
It was just like another level of awareness, you know?
Yeah.
By you saying that, it was like another.
We're all mirrors.
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
Yeah, no, I resonate with everything. It's really interesting because about, what was it, like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now, when I was like, I'm going to do this painting, I have like a vision. And I've started like, the minute in my own being that I've been like, I can't do this, I need to like do this. Like all this creative energy started coming in, and I noticed like doing all this stuff, like my outlet is drawing or painting and like doing the malas. I don't know how many malas. I made like 5 malas in like 1 week, and like there were ones that I was like supposed to make this summer. So I got like really inspired, and I did that, and I started painting, and then I didn't like touch any of that stuff for a week, and I started creating at a different level, and like working with more clients, and then now like I'm like, okay, cool. Now I'm like, it's like I go back and forth now, and it's more of a balance, and like I've come to notice that like the creativity part for healers is really important because it helps balance us and like you were saying, like filling us and stuff. And there was something else that Amelia said that I can't remember. But I think it's a tetrahedron, and what it is it's like a multi-sided, I could see it, it's a multi-sided shape, so it has like thousands of sides essentially, and then inside is another one of those, but smaller, and they keep like moving around, so it makes it look like.
Yes. Whatever that is. Yeah, that sounds exactly what I'm seeing in my head.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. What's that called?
I'm pretty sure it's called a tetrahedron, maybe, or something along those lines. So like, I see it a lot when I'm doing like Kundalini stuff, but it also goes into like the flower of life stuff, and talks about it in that book. And yeah, there's a lot of different things that it's kind of like associated with. And then also, the DNA thing could also be, it's actually the feminine and masculine energy spiraling, and it looks like that, and they come up and they go through the chakras. And they're called nadis, and they go through, and it's the male and female energy, right? So like sometimes like only one is flowing fully, and like the other one will like get stuck, and then if our chakras are like not working, it like they go through like kind of slower, and they like are like trying to get up there. So that, yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, this is all familiar stuff.
Sounds like a journey.
And I've been having really weird dreams that are really fucking scary because they're more real than they've ever been. Be careful in parking lots and don't bend down.
Oh, Jesus.
Me? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Don't bend down ever, or
like don't bend down in a parking lot. Do not like crouch down in a parking lot for whatever reason.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Some weird shit was in my dream, and I was like,
Was
what the
Alex
fuck?
in there?
He was in there, but you're the one that got hurt. Don't bend down.
Just leave it on the ground, whatever it is.
Yeah. Just be careful.
The dreams have been crazy.
But yeah, they've been like really intense, and like everyone that's like in my dreams is like in my life, then like there's weird shit, like weird buildings, weird tunnels, caves. My dogs are even in there, but they don't have any like legs. They just kind of like float around. It's really weird. Oh, there was something else I can't remember. Oh, the healing thing, right? So like I was talking to Allie about this, and I think maybe you, but I know I saw you. And now it's like, this is a place for healers to heal and to refine their craft and then take it out. So when you were saying those...
Yeah, that's what it was reminding me of, that conversation. I couldn't remember who I had it with.
And I was like watching the little... They almost look like these little like... What the fuck have I seen that before? Some like science magazine. They're little like balls. And then they have these little lines like coming out of them. So like another ball.
Yeah. It reminds me of a fort building.
Yeah, that's
But it's
what I was
also
seeing.
like if you look at like the molecular structure
Yeah.
of like our skin or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like a very or like the fibers inside of is it in the bone or the fascia or whatever? There's those like little right, so this like pattern is like everywhere.
It's all jumbled too.
Yeah.
When I first came to Humboldt, a stranger told me exactly the same thing.
Interesting.
Right when I moved here.
What?
About
healers?
What did you say?
So I said we come here to heal ourselves and refine our healing modality, whatever that is, so that we could take it and bring it to these other places.
And at the
Because
time I
we're
didn't
safe
know.
here.
I was like, oh really?
Maybe that's why a lot of us go and then come back also.
Yeah.
And then we go to another spot and
And
come
then
back.
come
We're
back.
like grid workers.
Yep.
We are grid workers.
Yeah. And this is like, this is safe. Yes, you go down to San Diego every now and again.
Yeah, like wherever you're called to
Right.
go. Like,
But, like,
maybe you need to anchor in
doing
your energy
something.
where you're going
Yep.
Yeah.
on the
Right.
grid.
Yeah.
So when I
Yeah,
go
that's
to
what I was
Tahoe
thinking
now,
when
I
you were
set it up
bringing
so
that
I
through.
teach.
For sure.
And then when I go now, next time I go to New York, like I'm currently like, okay guys, like I might come this time, like where can I teach? So that I'm taking my craft like wherever, right? And everyone, and like Allie already does that.
Yeah.
Astrocartography is super amazing too.
What is that exactly?
It has to do with our birth date and our time and stuff.
I
And
was like, what the fuck is that called
Yeah.
today? Because I want someone to do
Astrocartography,
my...
for sure. You can look it up, but
Oh.
you can look it up, but we won't be able to read it really. You can just kind of guess. Oh, that's my Jupiter line. I want to go there.
Right.
You know, but what's crazy is right after my partner passed, I think it was within months, I was invited to this wedding of mainly his friends over to Hawaii, Maui. And I thought, it was actually Lahaina, but that's crazy. But my line right there has something to do with grief and healing or something. And it was a really like dark time in Maui. Such a beautiful place, but it was a really dark time. But it was just very interesting, and that's the only place that I really compared to my astrocartography that I saw, because I haven't gotten read yet. I need to.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that.
Allie, I had a clarifying question for something you were talking about the like masculine doing things. Like you were saying, like when we're gonna do these things, is it like nurturing us, and is it like a perspective that we can have, that we can shift, that we can say, that we can choose to like think about it in that way, that will like transmute that energy? Or is it like that, like, does that make sense? Or is that question clear?
Well, I've been building things up while you guys have been talking, so I'm like, shit, we go spit. But I think we're gonna touch on that. If not, then maybe I'll have you ask again. Okay. So one of the main things that they are just like super emphasizing right now is they're bringing us back to this DNA within us swirling, and remember it was like rainbow. Right. So this is. I love the way you said this, Monique, of like how the masculine and feminine, if one's stronger and the other one's not there, it's like weirdly funneling in. And first and foremost, they want to say like you are so much more balanced in your feminine, masculine energies than you think you are. So much more. Especially I can say especially in this group of beings here, like, and especially of recently, and that the colors that they're showing, and it's just like splashes of it reminds me of like when they have a color run, they just have chalk of like that's what it looks like as it's like coming in and like creating all these things inside of us. I mean, I'm seeing like everything, like shapes and elephants and trees and earth and sky and stuff, like it's all this art. It's funny because I always say I don't have an artistic bone in my body, but I write, so words, but like coloring and stuff, not so much. So it's just funny how it's like all coming in, right? And like they're saying like this is how you're filling your soul of with this creativity. It's is this gratitude. First of all, okay, it looks like there's three things they're going to present. So one is the gratitude for yourselves, like so important to like even like look at yourself in the mirror or have a moment with yourself where you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, like just thank yourself. Like y'all don't just do that enough, you know. Humans just don't like know how fucking awesome you are and what you're doing here, and like give yourself some grace and so much credit, not even just some, give it all to yourself. You deserve so much for all that, again, that you've done for yourselves, that you've done for others, that you will continue to do for others because of what you've done for yourself. Like it's just this never ending, you know, infinity. And so as you are filling your cup with gratitude and filling your cup with grace and love and this nurturing energy, that creativity pours into you. And so the other thing they wanted to say about this is like, as that creativity pours into you, just do it to do it. Just do it because it fucking feels good and it's fun as hell and you want to do it. So just do it. Like stop stopping yourself from doing what you feel like you want to do all the time, because that is what then allows you to externally receive. If you want to sell that painting, like if you want to keep it, you know. There's this reminds me of Madi is like making jewelry. She's like, I love everything I make, I don't want to sell it anymore. And I'm like, I love that. So you know, maybe you make like 3 bracelets for yourself and 1 for your business, and you know, let's just like figure out how to make it work. And so that's what it feels like just do it because you love it. And then it will come. Like, it doesn't even feel like you need to sell this to do it. It just, people will come to you and be like, girl, where'd you get that? Can you make me the exact same ones?
Yep.
That kind of thing. It feels so freeing and opening and freeing and opening and freeing and opening and flowing and sexy and fun and blissful. Like, just give yourself everything you want. And you'll get everything you want. And you're in this space right now where like you are doing that. There's just some refinement we're inviting you into here. This refinement, this clarity to provide some ease here is because there's this tendency of like, I am being too masculine, I am giving too much, I am and so it's getting clear on what you're giving because you're trying to receive. Oh, that's so awesome. Okay. I love that. Giving because you're trying to receive versus receiving so that you can give. Oh my God, somebody write that down. I don't know, that was crazy. That was mind-blowing. My mind's blowing right now. What? Okay. That was fun. Okay. And when you are giving of yourself, when it feels, chorish, mundane is the word they said, like chores, dishes, because it's nurturing yourself, because you're, food especially is like probably the biggest thing here. Like, it sucks to make 3 meals a day, especially like I'm making 2 a day because my kid won't eat the same shit I'm eating, and that's just dumb. But, it's still nurturing her, and it's nurturing me. And so it's stepping into this, like, okay, yes, this is, I'm doing this and this, I don't think that it sucks, but all I'm thinking about is I'm going to have so many more dishes after this, and I just finished the dishes. And so it's kind of turning, like, it's almost channeling energy into this, like, fuck yeah, I'm about to feed your soul with this broccoli and cauliflower and rice and da-da-da-da. And then doing the dishes, like, yeah, I'm going to have clean dishes because then I can cook again. It doesn't even feel good saying that because I'm still working on that part. But it's just like, it's shifting the way you think about doing the things that you're doing. So there's that masculine energy of like, okay, I gotta go to work, versus, oh, I'm about to go give somebody some healing energy. Like, I'm about to have fun with this. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm about to teach her some new shit. It's going to blow her mind. And we're going to have so much fun. We're going to laugh. Like, it's just this very, filling shift. And it's so minute because you guys are already there. You're already there. That's enough said. You're there. But it's just that little shift that fills your cup instead of feeling like you're giving out of it. It's that shift, like, here. So, like they're showing you right now, like that rainbow is coming in, and when you feel like, okay, I gotta go give, it goes out. But when you're like receiving in that fun, blissful, nurturing way in order to give, it's that flow of like overflowing into others instead of giving out of yourself. It's just such a minute shift, like, because you guys are so there. You are balanced masculine and feminines. It's just that gentle shift of like, I'm going to give of my love. I'm going to give because I thanked myself for loving myself last night. I got a little extra, and I'm going to let that drip out into your cup. That this rainbow energy, though, it is, I want to say that creativity isn't quite the right word, because it is that, and so much more, and gratitude and love, and giving yourself time. Pay somebody to clean your fucking house so you have an extra hour a week, okay? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just find it in yourself for an extra $35 for them to come for an hour, or two hours every other week, or whatever. Like, give yourself, like it's like finding a way to fill yourself with enough. Sorry, this is hard to put in a word. So it's like filling yourself enough and knowing that you're going to receive because you filled yourself enough, and now you're giving to others who are going to give to you, so you're going to receive. But the whole point is to give to yourself enough not so that you receive, but just give to yourself enough so that you have what you need to give yourself more. Make more, whatever, do more, whatever, that feels good, that fills your soul, that nourishes your purpose and your family and your body, so that you can open yourself to receive more and it just keeps going and going and going. Like I said, like, making, I don't know, one more mala a month and using that money to like pay somebody to clean your house so that you have more time to go out in the fucking forest and be with your homies out, like the fairies, and just chill outside. Like whatever it is for you. It's this symbiotic, like magical, like you don't even have to do shit. This is just the very, very little minute, it's not even minute, it's just like nothingness. It's just a perspective shift that puts you more in the receiving mode without even doing anything. It's just, you're doing the same stuff, just like, okay, here we go. I'm like giving myself food. I'm giving myself time. I'm giving myself clean dishes to cook more food. It's never ending.
I feel you on the dishes.
Yeah, never ending.
I've done that though recently. Like, I'm grateful to have these dishes to clean. Even.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like this home.
The only shift there that it feels like is even being like, there's so much that we're like grateful for that keeps us very present, but there's so little of us being grateful to ourselves for all that we do, like we do so much. And so it's putting that, like, yes, be grateful for those dishes, and be grateful that you are standing there when your feet hurt anyways doing the dishes. Like, be grateful to yourself that you're like nurturing yourself over and over and over. And that's why I say, like, every day, just make it like 1 minute a night. Like, just damn, like, okay, like, and I really do, like, they do keep showing me in front of a mirror, so it is really like looking at yourself and just like for real, like getting real and inside yourself, like looking deep into your eyes, give it to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like because we have to give it to all our past selves in our past lives.
I've been doing that too. Tapping in.
I've been doing a lot of like past life stuff.
Yeah.
You can feel the fusion when you go back and you give a younger you some love, and you just feel this crazy fusion.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
And then you remember when you heard your higher self or your future self in that moment as a child, you know, like, oh, that's when that moment was that you know, warm feeling came over me, that I was going to be okay.
It's interesting too. I was just talking to my friend the other day, and we were talking about how, like, with the house cleaning and all the things, how we're like super obsessive. Like, I always want my house to be clean because I just feel uncomfortable when it's not, or I just feel uncomfortable if I'm just like sitting there watching a movie. I'm like, oh my god, there's so much shit I should be doing. You know, like, oh, I gotta do this and that and this and that. And like, I want to be more in that. Like, it's okay, sit and watch a movie with your kid. Because that's what she wants and that's what you want, but you know, kind of always goes back to like, well, why do I do this? Like, and it, you know, it's from childhood stuff. Like, if you're not doing something productive, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you know, or even just like having my space. Like, as a foster kid, it was like my bed. You know, it wasn't my room. It was like my bed. I could control my bed. Don't put shit on my bed. That's it. Like, I don't like, and it's weird. I have a weird thing about it. I don't like Maddie picking her toes on my bed. I don't like the cat. I don't like anything. I'm like, did you just pick your nose? Go wash your fucking hands. I don't care. Don't touch my bed. Like, it's gross. It's like a sacred space. And I always thought it was just like, because it's a sacred space, because I'm putting my face there. Like, but it's actually, you know, it's that childhood stuff. Like, it all comes back to, and even just being grateful to, you know, in filling that cup, like filling our inner child, our, you know, our past lives, of like filling them with gratitude for everything that they did, like going back all those timelines and filling that cup too, and allowing it to catch up to here.
Too.
Yeah.
I felt like I was kind of forced to do that.
You what?
I was going to push in a corner to do that. I was like,
Yeah.
Okay. And then, I had to check myself because I was disappointed in her, or upset that she didn't catch on fast enough or something. But I've been getting that message that I have to fill my cup up so much that the only thing I'm giving is the overflow. You know, that it doesn't take away from what I filled at all. Like, that's how much I have to create, you know, and just go and be me. And one of those ways that I've been doing that as of just a few days ago is cycle syncing, like eating for my cycle. I've never done it before, and I was like, especially during the luteal phase, where you're just like, but as soon as I ate, because you have to eat every few hours in that phase, and as soon as I ate, I felt completely nourished and completely happy, like, and now that I've actually had a taste of it, thinking back to where I was like eating by chance, like hoping to get the right nutrients somewhere, just going by my cravings, good cravings. I was getting lucky. I was getting lucky when I would feel some relief. Yeah. But I'm listening to my body, but it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
I just did this really deep quantum healing on myself the other night, and I went back to in meditation, each relationship in my life that there's been something that's hurt me really deeply, and I just the person who the relationship was with, I just sent them love, and it was also going to myself in that time, but just transmuting that energy by just sending love to that experience, and being grateful that it was part of my path that brought me here. And I went back from most current to the soy whatever the episode was, and then did a one from a past life, and it was so deep, and the next day I had a really weird emotional day, and I was and I think it was the energy just being released or something.
Integrated.
Yeah, integrated. That was something. And also just filling your cup from exactly what we were doing, going into your past and giving yourself the love that you needed at that time. It's so important. Yeah. And that all adds up to now, the reason we have empty cups is because we ain't been filling them our whole lives. So, and it's hard to know when it's full. I think it's from moment to moment. Sometimes it's full, and then sometimes you feel like it's empty, and it's important to tune into those moments. But again, we're taught not to. No, you gotta get back to it. It's time to go.
I think there's some integration there too, having a full cup and being okay with it.
Yeah.
You're thinking there needs to be something wrong.
Right.
We were talking about creativity and how that is a form of receiving, giving to ourselves, and you mentioned nurturing the inner child, and I love to create stuff. That's definitely part of who I am, and I've been missing that since since being born. There's a feeling of guilt that's that I need to let go of, because it's feels like I'm playing, which I am, but it's for a good reason, that so I like that new way of thinking about it, of that it's not just about playing, it's about nurturing my soul and having that that time to receive in that way.
I relate to the guilt, because I would think that, if I create something, it's going to take so long for money to come in from that. I need to go over here and trim, or I need to go over here and make that fast cash to then get ahead on the bills, then it'll allow me the time to create. But once I'm in that flow, like I can't create stuff fast enough. People are buying my stuff, like claiming my stuff in my stories.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I really relate to that because I felt a lot of guilt from that, and I had like all these reasons why I couldn't go create. And then once you get in the flow state, in the vortex, right, that Abraham Hicks talks about, that's the vortex where things flow in, and like even money and abundance can flow in other ways besides the individual things that you're creating.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Yes, just money, it just starts flowing in.
Because you're in that state. You're in the receiving state.
I just had a thought come in that was like, because I have this, the part of my guilt is like about the fact that David doesn't have that time freedom to, and the energy then when he's home to like do his creative stuff, you know, and so because he's so focused on the money and doing the masculine things to like get the money, you know, but I just realized that, you know, him and I are so intertwined and connected and like very much reflections of each other that if I do that for myself, it will happen for him too.
Yes.
Because he'll just get wrapped up in the fucking vortex of creation.
You're in the vortex, bud.
Exactly.
Eric and I are actually gonna change the whole living space. It's turning into a studio. Because we're both like, we need to create, and he needs it too.
Like an art studio?
Yeah. Cool. So forget the normal living situation.
That's what I do. I don't have a couch.
I don't have any.
I don't. I have a drafting table. I have all my creating stuff. I have all the wood that, you know.
Yeah. So
it's shifting all the time, but I have my altar.
That's part of it.
Yeah, so that's gonna happen.
Yes.
Yeah, because I gotta paint, and he's gotta do something creative too, because otherwise he's so like focused on the work and money and
I paint too, but I've just recently inside broke through the perfectionism, and I know what I'm going to paint next, and I've just been having this craving to paint, and this sitting inspired me to do it. And it's this angel. It's one of those angels that's going like this, but her wings are just and I can just see myself just, instead of like trying to make the lines all straight and perfect, you know.
That's how I am. I can't be in my brain. If I'm in my brain, I can't do anything.
Right.
I just start throwing the paint on. I'm gone. I am totally gone. I don't know what's happening.
You're channeling.
Yeah. And that's the best space.
Oh
that's
my God.
What fills my cup.
So you guys see me like.
Is being there.
It's not even about the painting.
It's not, you know. That's like just kind of a gift. I feel like it's that space that
feels good.
Yeah.
You're receptive.
I channel a lot of paintings that I'm like they're coming through for a reason, you know. But I was waiting for that click to let go of that. It was such bad perfectionism that I thought something had to be so perfect, you know.
Like it's crazy. That's how I feel about my channeling. I'm like, it's not coming out right. Like I'm not saying it right, and I just get like, fuck, I can't find the word.
It's translating the
whole
time. It literally
feels like I have to pee. You know, not like it doesn't feel like I actually have to pee. You know, I'm just trying to find that word. You know, when you really have to pee, and you're just like, if I just pee, I'll feel so much better. And then when I do pee, I feel so much better. And that's how I feel when I get that word. I'm like, okay. Glad I peed. Maybe that's my art, is just words, just channeling.
Well, you said you write too.
I write poetry, but I haven't literally since I had Madi. I also haven't read a book since I had Madi, so. And I was like a total bookworm, so I feel you on all of that. It's been 10 years, and I'm like, ooh, am I ever going to read a book? Ever? Ever again? My mom's like, don't you want to read books? And I'm like, no. What am I going to do with those? I got, audiobooks, but it's hard to make time and space. But one thing can't believe I'm finally learning it now, but is just going with her flow and like just like we're in the unschooling thing, which is like so taboo, but it's just letting her be led into what she wants to do. You want to build birdhouses? I don't know shit about that, but let's figure it out. Like, we read books about it and learn to build birdhouses, and it's super hard on me because I'm still trying to release, like, well, she has to learn how to read, she has to do math. Like, no, fuck, like, it's so backwards, but I'm still, like, in that, like, 39, like, still have that, yeah.
Sorry, I feel so passionate about this. I have to say, fuck taboo.
Yeah.
Unschooling is the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is the way of the new earth. That is how children are supposed to fucking learn.
It's such a blessing that we are able to give that to them. I mean, I caught on a little late with my boys. So.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, I just feel inadequate to do it, to make time for it and, you know, let her follow her joy. She's like, I don't want to read about birdhouses anymore. And I'm like, well, how are we going to learn about building birdhouses? She's like, let's just build them. And I was like, like, how? Okay. I mean, do you know what kind of hammer to use? She's like, we'll figure it out. I'm like, okay. And it's just like me letting go, you know. She's got it. She's like, shut up, Mom. Let's just go do it. Like, let's go have fun. I'm like, well, what if, because I'm like, it's expensive too. Because I'm like, wood is not cheap, okay? And this shit ain't gonna last. And like, we have hella driftwood, but for birdhouses, like, I don't know. I know we want to create. I do love wood art or wood burning. That is my shit, but I'm not great at it. I do words with them, you know, the tracing, drawing things. Yeah. Like, and it's fun, like, so relaxing, and it feels so at peace. But yeah, it's that same thing, like getting out of the like, okay, I gotta go get money. So like, this is good for me to hear too, because I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, I take pieces that nobody wants at like a yard sale sitting on a table, and I just make it beautiful again, you know, and then wood burn it. Yeah. And then I have a project in the works that I'm really excited about, and I hope to be done with it by the end of the year.
That's amazing. We gotta have a wood art day. Yeah, for sure. I would love that.
For sure.
Yeah.
I really love to. I'm in an apartment now, so I feel a homecoming, like on the river, you know, with a studio or a garage that I can create in, and I see it in my mind's eye. It's like a cabin or a wood house, and I feel like it's somewhere local, and I want to have like creative gatherings and create a space for that.
Hell yes.
And I could even start that. I have a friend that wants to help me do it too. I could even start that by like renting out a Grange and bringing all the materials or something, you know. So that's something that's been on the forefront of my mind.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah,
I love it.
What a beautiful session.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So
That was awesome.
You did it.
I know, my first time. I don't know, I still feel nervous.
It's big shit, girl.
Yeah, that was cool. I'm glad we could do it with like, I wanted to make sure we could do it with like high vibes so that I wasn't like distracted, or I almost had to bring Maddie, and then I was like, I can't, like I literally can't stand the thought of her being on a screen in the corner. Like, now I need to focus.